lectures last year. She comes under the tutelage of our Pujyasri Saraswati, and she is a very prolific speaker, and she has over 1,200 talks on English, Hindi, and Gujarati on YouTube videos. So she is very prolific. What will strike you is the clear manner in which she conveys her thoughts. Very straightforward, no convoluted logic, and she's going to be talking to us in the morning on Ishavasyopanishad, wonderful Upanishad, and in the evening she's going to be teaching us Upanishad on. So, without much ado, I will start Swaminiji again. Welcome back to Buffalo.
Namaste. It's a recording here. I will send you the recording.
This is, I will adjust only the video, audio part here.
Om Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Om Shanno Mitra Shamvarunah Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indra Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramah Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् Om Shanti 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saha Vidyam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaran Loka Shankaram Shankaran Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishade Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddhagnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Vedanto nama Upanishad pramanam. We need to understand that Veda is a pramanam. It is not a book. It is not a textbook. It is a pramanam. Now, what is a pramanam? Pramakaranam pramanam. Prama means knowledge. That which is the means of knowledge is called pramanam. What is the definition of pramanam? There are three words we need to remember. Whenever we use the word pramanam, we have to remember these three words. Apurvam, abadhitam, swatantram. Apurvam, unique. Abadhitam cannot be negated by any other means of knowledge. Swatantra. Eyes, though we call them senses, eyes are the pramanam, called pratyaksha pramanam. Through the eyes only we can see. So, to see the form and color, eyes are the pramanam. It is unique. Ears cannot see, tongue cannot see. So, eyes are the pramanam to see. Unique, apurvam. Then, abadhita. What is being seen by the eyes cannot be negated by any other means of knowledge. Eyes don't depend, swatantra. Eyes don't depend on any other means of knowledge. It doesn't need the ears to see. Understand? Swatantram. So, Shastra is a pramana. Last verse of 16th chapter in Gita, Bhagavan says, Tasmat Shastram te pramanam. Understand? Shastra, Veda Shastra is a pramana. Eyes are pramana, ears, you are listening to me, ears are pramana. Called pratyaksha pramana. Prati means in front. Aksha means senses. So that which is in front of your eyes, your ears are called pratyaksha pramana. Then there are other four pramanas are there called paroksha pramana. Para means away. That which is away from the senses called paroksha pramana. The first paroksha pramana is called anuman. Anu means following something. Ramaha gacchati, Lakshmanaha anugacchati. Ram goes to the forest, Lakshman follows Lord Rama. Understand? Same way, manam means knowledge. Anumanam, that which depends on pratyaksha pramana. That's why it's called anumanam. It's a one step pramana. The standard example is what? Parvataha vahniman. There is a fire on the mountain. What is the reason? Dhumatvat. Because there is a smoke. How do you say that? Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vahnihi. Understand? So I see the smoke. And therefore I say there is a fire on the mountain. Why? Dhumatva. That's a reason. Then, why? Because wherever there is a smoke, there is a fire. Don't go vice versa, understand? Wherever there is a fire, there is a smoke. No. Vyapti, it is called Vyapti, reasoning. How do you say that? Pakashalayam. As in the kitchen, we see that. Those days we had this fireplace for cooking. So, Anuman. Why? It depends on the previous knowledge of fire and smoke taken, seen, experienced together. Then Arthapatti. Arthapatti is two negative steps. All this we all use it, understand. Don't think it's something new. Already we are using this pramana. Here any child, just listening to the sound, they know this is Ferrari and this is, they all know. Why? Because they have seen the sound and the car together. And therefore, listening to the sound is a pratyaksha. But this is Ferrari is paroksha. Then Arthapati, two negative. There is a standard example in the Shastra. Devadattaha Pinaha. Devadatta is a big fellow. Pinaha. Divana Khadati. Daytime he doesn't eat. But he is big fellow. That means what? If two negative. If he doesn't eat, he won't be big person. Correct? Two negatives. Morning when you wake up and you say everything is wet, then what do you say? If it would not have been rain, everything would not have been wet. Simple. Understand? Two negative. That means what? Divana khadati. Daytime he doesn't eat. That means what? Ratrau khadati. When everybody goes to sleep, you open the fridge. Understand? Called arthapatti. Then upama. Somebody goes to the African safari, comes back, tells you, oh, I saw thousands of bison. Then what is bison? Oh, it's like our water buffalo. Upama. This fifth one is very important. Anupalabdhi. Only Vedanta accept Anupalabdhi as an independent means of knowledge. Understand? All other take them as a pratyaksha. Our 80% activities are depending on this Anupalabdhi. You write on the paper, you know paper is blank. Anupalabdhi. You fill the bucket because you know bucket is empty. You eat because you know my stomach is empty. You walk because you know there is nothing in front of me. Do you understand? All our activities are Anupalabdhi. So, absence, you see the absence of the object, Anupalabdhi. But no, why don't you take it as a pratyaksha? Why paroksha? Because suppose I say, Mama haste hasti asti. There is an elephant on my hand. What happens? As soon as you hear the word elephant, the elephant comes to your mind. Understand this? Because you have seen. And then you try to see elephant on my hand and you don't see it. That's why it depends on the knowledge of elephant. Therefore, it is called paroksha. Then sixth pramanam is called shabda pramana. By words also, we can convey the knowledge. The beauty of the shabda pramana is that if the object is in front of you, it will give you pratyaksha knowledge. Understand? Pratyaksha gnana, direct knowledge. Suppose you introduce somebody, The person is front of you, and therefore it is a pratyaksha, direct. But somebody goes to Kailas Mansarovar, when comes back and he describes, it will be what? Paroksha. Understand? That's the beauty of word, Shabda Pramana. Object is in front of you, pratyaksha gnana. It's not paroksha gnana. And therefore, the six pramanas we accept. Veda is a Shabda Pramana. Veda is a Shabda Pramana. Pratyakshena anumityava yastu upayana vidyate. That which cannot be known by pratyaksha pramana, paroksha pramana. Vedena vindanti tasmad vedasya vedata. So, when we accept the Veda as a pramanam, understand this properly. Lot of people, lot of scholars, lot of Vedantis are making mistakes. I'm telling this. Our YouTube live, Facebook live is going. Understand? I don't afraid of anybody. In the beginning only, I already told you the definition of pramana. It is independent. Understand? It is cannot be negated. And it is unique. That which can be known by the eyes cannot be known by any other means of knowledge. Same way, that which can be known by Veda cannot be known by any other means of knowledge, cannot be negated by any means of knowledge, and Veda doesn't need any other means, it is independent. Understand? First thing we have to have is a pramanam, it is a swatantra pramanam. Why I said I am not afraid? Because a lot of scholars are telling Veda are scientific. And why do I have to tell Veda is scientific? I have not yet understood this. It's independent pramanam. You know? If you say Veda is scientific, that means you are giving the science number 1 and Veda number 2. Do you want to do that? Understand? If I say this is yellow flower, it is yellow flower. If I say this is a red, it is red. Eyes are telling you. Do you need science to see that this is yellow? Understand? Veda is a pramana. Doesn't need any other means. So, Vedanto Nama, now we have to go one. Veda is a pramana, understand? But here we say Vedanto Nama Upanishad Pramana. So, why you say Upanishad Pramana? Veda is a pramana, understand? Then why are you separating them? So, in the Sabandha Bhashya, in Ishavasyopanishad, we have only 6 days, so we can't go into detail. But Shankaracharya makes it very clear that Veda has 3 parts: Karma Kand, Upasana Kand, Gnana Kand. So, Karma Kand, there are 2 sections are there: Samhita and Brahmana. Samhita is a mantras describing the devatas, like Sukta, what we call, praising the devata. And Brahmana describes how to perform particular yaga, rituals. Then Upasana Kanda, meditations. There are different types of meditations, visualizations are given. And Gnana Kanda. So, in the Sambandha Bhashya, Shankaracharya says, Yathatmyam, understand. Gnan Kand Vedanta talks about the reality. And what is the reality? Ishavasya idagum sarva. Whatever here is one non-dual Ishvara. So it is talking about the reality. So, what is the difference between knowledge and action? Through the actions, there are four things we can do. Apya, Utpadya, Sanskarya, Vikarya. Apya means where either you reach it or you gain it. Called Apya, where action is required. Utpadya, you create. Sanskarya, you clean it. You want to eat fruit, you go to the market and get it. Or you plant the tree and get the peach. Utpadya. Then you wash it, sanskarya. Then vikarya. You cut it. Nowadays, we don't eat the fruit as it is. That also vikarya. We modify it. And so karma, these four are there. Now, when we say Ishavasya idagum sarvam, whatever here is one non-dual Ishvara, is it apya to be gained? No. It's everywhere. Understand? Sarvavyapi. What we call is Sarvavyapi. Therefore, last time also I told you this story, In this Sunday morning, father was sitting outside in the lawn and reading newspaper. But here you have, that Saturday, Sunday, somebody will come with the books in the hand. Try to convince. And this father was an atheist. On the wall with the big words, he has written, God is nowhere. So this fellow with the books, when come and read, God is nowhere, he walks out. So he is happy. Nobody is going to bother him. He had a small son, just started reading. In the beginning, what we do? 3 and 4 letters word we teach them. Not big words. So they can read only small words, not big words. C-U-T cut, B-O-L-L ball, like 3 letters. So it's like we also in childhood the same thing. As soon as we learn to read, and wherever we go, we try to read. So this boy also was playing there. And suddenly he saw these huge letters, Then he tried to read. Now he knows only 3 and 4 letters word, So he tried to see himself, G-O-D, God. I-S is, So he was trying to read. Then he told his father, Dad, I can read this. Yeah, I know. No, Dad, but I can. Yeah. But Dad, listen to me. I can read this. Okay, read. Now, Dad is written what? God is nowhere. This fellow, Dad, can I read? Yeah, go ahead. G-O-D, God. I-S is. N-O-W, now. H-E-R-E, here. See that? I can read. God is now here. What that fellow has written? God is nowhere. This fellow is telling what? God is now here. That means God is not apya. Understand? Ishvara is not apya. Why? Now here. It's now here, not utpadya, ajaha. It is ajaha, not utpadya. Sanskarya, nitya, ajo nitya, shashvatoyam purana. No sanskar. Why? Here also it comes apapaviddham, shuddham. That which is pure by itself doesn't need any purification, sanskara. Shashvatam, achalaha. Means it is non-modifiable, avikarya. Bhagavan says what? Avikaryo yamuchyate. Cannot be modified. And therefore, apya, utpadya, sanskarya, vikarya, karma doesn't work here. Understand? What we require is knowledge. And therefore we say Upanishad is a pramana to know the reality. It's a Shabda pramana. Now, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa are Pratyaksha. Then Paroksha. That which is not Paroksha is called Aparoksha. There is no direct translation of Aparoksha word in English. Because they don't have a concept of Aparoksha. Suppose I ask you, are you there? You say what? Yes. How do you know you are there? If you give the definition in English for paroksha, aparoksha, I will give a very simple definition. Aparoksha means you don't need to employ any means of knowledge. It's called aparoksha. Understand this properly. You don't need to employ any means of knowledge. You are. How do you know? Because you are seeing, there was a book, I think, therefore I am. Suppose you are not thinking, you are not there. I think, therefore I am, or I am, therefore I think. I am, understand. I means chit, am means sat. This is the basic of Vedanta understand. Sat and chit is known to everyone. You are. But you are this person, or you are a citizen of this, you need God. Understand? But you are the existence, you are that consciousness. Do you need to prove? Called self-evident, self-effulgent consciousness you are. Called aparoksha, sakshad aparoksha. You are consciousness. In second chapter Gita, Shankaracharya says, Pramatari sati pramana anveshanam kurya. First you are there, existence consciousness. Then there is a pramana. So before even you use pramana, already you are there who is using this pramana, understand? It's called aparoksha. That's why it's called aparoksha. You are already there. Because of you, all pramanas are there. Therefore, you are aparuksha, existence consciousness. Then why you say Vedanta is pramana? Look at the contradiction. If you say Vedanta is a pramanam, but you are, no pramana is required. Then why do you say Upanishad is pramanam? Because you know you are. But the Sat, the existence, is limited between the birth and death. So you have time-bound existence, limited by time. Your consciousness, but your consciousness is what? Limited by this body. I am consciousness, but I am this body, within this body. So, Sat is limited by time, consciousness, existence is limited by time, consciousness is limited by space. Understand? There is a spatial limitation. Is there. But Shastra says what? Avinashi tu tadvidhi yena sarvamidam tatam vyaptam. In one sentence, Bhagavan removed this both. Avinashi means you are not time bound. Tatam means you are all pervasive. See, I understand it. That means what? You know that you are consciousness, but you are all pervasive consciousness. How are you going to know? See, that's why all these meditation people, they can take you up to Sakshi, witness, but it is all pervasive. How are you going to know? Do you understand what I'm telling? All meditation people, they can take you to the witness, Sakshi. But that Sakshi, that consciousness, is all pervasive. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. That Anantam, that limitlessness. How are you going to know that you are all pervasive? That's where Vedanta comes into the picture. Do you understand now? Why Vedanta is required? Because how through the Vedanta Pramana we know that you are all pervasive consciousness. But how will I know? So in Gita, Bhagavan says aprameya. There is a word called aprameya. That which cannot be known by any means of knowledge called aprameya. So Shankaracharya tells there, this Veda is a pramana. There is another definition for Veda pramana is called Agnata Gnapakam Shastra. Gnapakam means make you know. That which make you know, that which is not known by your means of knowledge. So then Vedanta also is same. So Shankaracharya says, Natu Agnata Gnapakam Shastram. Look at this one. Karma Khanda is Agnata Gnapakam, but not Vedanta. Why? Because already you know, you are. Then how the Vedanta is going to be pramana? If it is not Natu Agnata Gnapakam Shastram, then how Vedanta is going to be pramana? So Shankaracharya says, Attadharma Adhyaropa Nivartakatvena Shastrasya Pramanyam. The Vedanta Shastra is a pramanyam. The status of being the means of Pramanya means the status of being the means of knowledge for this Vedanta or Gita is what? Atadharma adhyaropa nivartakatve. That which is being superimposed on yourself, to remove the superimposition, we need Shastra. Why do we say superimposition? Adhyaropa. Because everybody has superimposed something on the self. There are basically 5 superimposition is there. Swamiji used to tell the word universal mistake called Panchakosha. It's not sheath, understand. Panchakosha means 5 universal mistakes. I am body, I am prana, vital force, I am mind, I am buddhi, I am ignorant. Annamay kosha, pranamay kosha, manomay kosha, vijnanamay kosha, anandamay kosha. Every human being has this 5. What is the role of the Shastra? To remove this adhyaropa. Whole Taittiriya Upanishad is same. Annam brahmeti vyajana. Then Anyantaratma pranamaya, Anyantaratma manomaya, Anyantaratma vijnanamaya, Anyantaratma anandamaya. And therefore, the role of Vedanta Shastra is to remove the adhyaropa. And why this adhyaropa is there? This also we have to understand. If I ask you, do you know Russian language? You say you don't know. Look at this. You know that you don't know Russian language. So you have a knowledge of the ignorance of the Russian language. Right? You have a knowledge of the ignorance. But not knowing Russian language, is there any superimposition? Adhyaropa? No. So, not knowing other than you doesn't create any superimposition. In other words, if you know Russian language, you know. You don't know, you don't know. Simple. Either you know or you don't know. Knowledge or ignorance. But our standard example is what? Rajju Sarpa. And if you know this is Rajju, this is rope, no problem. If there is a darkness, you don't see rope, any problem? No. But manda andakara. That means what? There is, you see something round. And it is, the existence is known. Understand this. Existence is known, idam asti. And instead of telling this is rope, you say what? This is snake. So where is the problem? The problem is General knowledge is there. Samanya Gnana. Asti. Astitva is known. The Swarupa is not known. Vishesha Gnana. Idam Asti is known. Idam Kim Asti. So instead of Swamiji, says in Sanskrit, Iyam Rajjuhu. It is Strilinga, feminine. Ayam Rajju. Swamiji says the gender also is changed. Iyam Rajju. Ayam Sarpaha. Same way. Ahamasmi, known. Who I am. Years before, in Ahmedabad, Gujarat University, organized Swamiji's talks. And Biridatmandi asked Swamiji, what will be the topic? Swamiji said, who am I? And they declared. And when Swamiji went there, the whole hall was full. Swamiji said, I have given the title of the topic, who am I? And all of you are sitting here, that means you have a doubt, who are you? Otherwise you won't come here. If you know who are you, then you don't come, who am I? So, Vishesha Gnana Abhavaha. I am is known to you, but I am limitless is not known to you. Param Brahma, what we call. Param means not limited by time, not limited by space, not limited by Vastu. Therefore, Vedanta is a Vishesha Gnana, called Aparoksha Gnana. So, whatever superimposition is there, we have to remove. Sarpa is superimposed on the snake. By the knowledge of the rope, the superimposition of the snake is removed. Here we have to go one step further. Rajju is a pratiksha. So when there is a light, you can see it. How are you going to know yourself? Because you are self-evident, self-effulgent consciousness. How are you going to know yourself? You are not object of any means of knowledge. Aparoksha. So how are you going to know the Aparokshatma? Therefore, there is a verse. If I want to know my eyes, I want to see my eyes are seeing everybody. But to see the eyes, what we need? Mirror. Similarly, the Shastra also is a mirror. But see, we all know everybody has a child in home. First time when the child sees itself in the mirror, can it recognize? No. Therefore, when they see first time, they will see. So they think that somebody else is there. So they play. So one time you have to introduce the child that this is you. Understand? That means there should be somebody who introduces you that this is your image. It takes little time for the child also to understand this is me. Therefore, when there is a Shastra is a pramana for the Aparokshatma, we need Guru. Therefore, Shraddha, Shankaracharya gives definition what? Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Sa Shraddha. Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Satya Buddhi Avadharana. Vedanta needs Guru. Through the words of Guru, we can know the self. That means what? There is no Swayambhu Guru. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyam. We have a parampara. In 4th chapter, Gita also Bhagavan says, Evam parampara praptam. Understand? Through parampara only we can gain this knowledge. Adya, Bhagavan used the word. Today, whatever I have taught you, I have impart you this knowledge, but this knowledge is something not new. Imam vivasvatam proktavan aham abhyaya. The same knowledge I gave to Vivaswan Surya. Surya gives it to his son Manu. Manu gives it to his son Ikshwa. Vivaswan manave prahu mano ikshvakave bhavet. Evam parampara prapta. Therefore, the prayer is what? Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam. Look at this. Our first salutation is not Guru. A lot of people are making mistake. They think this is the prayer for saluting Guru. It's not. We are not saluting Guru. Understand? This is all Bahuvrihi. Vande Guru Parampara. First salutation is to Guru Parampara. And which is this Guru Parampara? Sadashiva Samarambha. This parampara, the beginning of this parampara is Sadashiva. We don't know all other between, but in the center, in Madhya, is Shankaracharya Madhyama, for whom in the middle is Shankaracharya. Asmadacharya Paryantam, which is up to our teacher. That parampara I salute. That's why our first salutation is to parampara. In Gita, sometimes Shankaracharya is very harsh. Sarva Shastragnopi Asampradayavit Murkhavad Upekshaneyam. Anybody who doesn't have a parampara, sampradaya, we should neglect him like a fool. In Sanskrit, there is a abuse called Naguru. If somebody doesn't have Guru, Naguru. It's a kind of abuse, understand? That means we need to have that parampara. So through parampara only we can know aparoksha atma. So Shankaracharya has written Bhashya on 12 Upanishads. 10 Upanishads are main. Isha, Kena, Katha, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitiriya, Taitiriya, Chandogya, Brihadaranyaka. Then 2 more are there, Shveta Upanishad and Kaivalya Upanishad. So 12 Upanishads are standard. And first one is called Ishavasyopanishad. This Upanishad comes in Shukla Yajurveda. This is the only Upanishad which doesn't come under Gnana Kanda, understand? It comes in Samhita. Shukla Yajurved Samhita. It comes in Samhita section. And in that Samhita section, the 40th, 40th Adhyaya is Ishavasya. Up to 39th, all this karma kanda is given. From the 40th is this one small Upanishad. Though it is small, the message is very deep. So the first verse is, first mantra is called Ishavasya. We'll read the mantra. This Upanishad start with the Purnamadaha. That's a Shanti part of Purnamadaha. It's a Shanti part of this Upanishad. Brahadarka Upanishad also, Shanti part is the same, Purnamadaha. So, we can chant Purnamadaha together. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. First mantra. Om Ishavasyopanishad-1 sarvam. Om Ishavasyopanishad-1 sarvam. Yat kinchit jagatyam jagata. Yat kinchit jagatyam jagata. Tena tyaktena punjitaha. Tena tyaktena punjitaha. Magrudah kasya svidhanam. Magrudah kasya siddhanam. Om is a name, Abhidhana for Brahman. Understand? Om also is a technical word. We have to understand it properly. Om is a technical word. It is given in different Upanishad. Kathopanishad also. Samkshepena. Yamaraja says, in brief, I will tell you. Om iti etat. This is Om. Mandukya Upanishad is entirely on Omkara. So, Om is a Mangalacharan. Whenever we begin something, we do Mangalacharan. That's why Omkara is Mangalacharan. There are three ways we can do Mangalacharan. Remembering Ishvara, remembering Guru, or remembering Tattva. So when we say Om, it's a name of Ishvara, Abhidhana. And Om is a Tattva also. Om iti idagum sarvam. It's a Brahman. And Ishavasya idagum sarvam. Isha. It's a third case, understand. It, Shankaracharya says, Isha, Ishtaha, iti, tena, Isha. So it means, Ish means the person who is one who is ruling the entire universe. Isha. Ishita Parameshwaraha Paramatma. Ish means Paramatma. Parameshwaraha. Ish Paramascha, so Ishwarascha. That who is the Param. Parama means what? There is another sentence we have to remember. Lakshana pramanabhyam vastu siddhi. Any vastu, if we want to prove siddha, two things are required, Lakshana and Pramana. Lakshana means definition, yes, characteristics, and also Pramana, through which Pramana you can know it. So, Ishvara, when I say, Ishvara means what? Abhinna nimitta. Whenever you use the word Ishvara, we have to remember this definition, Lakshana. Abhinna nimitta upadana karana. In English we say, one who is the maker and material both. He is the maker, he is the material. So he is the cause. And what is the effect? Jagat is the effect. So Ishvara is a Jagat Karana. But when we say he is Jagat Karanam, then there is a problem. Karya is always Avinashi and Karana is always Vikari. For any cause to become the Karya, there should be some modification required. Therefore, if I say Ishvara is a Karanam, then what happens? Vikari. Not only that, Karya, when we say, the effect is avinashi, destructible. Then there are two things are there. One is Jagat and other is Ishvara. So there are two. Therefore what we say, Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana. He is the maker, he is the material. If he is the material, then what will happen? Clay is the material cause for the pot. So wherever there is a pot, there is a clay. If Ishvara is a material cause, then wherever there is a Jagat, there is Ishvara. That's why we say Ishavasya idagum sarvam. But if he is the cause, understand this, then there is a problem. Karya and Karana. So that's why we say Parameshwara. Paramascha, so Ishwarascha. Parameshwara means, Param means what? That which is not limited by time, space and object. Desha kala vastu aparichinnaha paramaha. Limitless. And therefore, Ishvara Shabda brings the Karanatvam. But Karanatvam, is it a nature of Ishvara? When there is a pot, we say the clay is the cause. Right? But when we look into the pot, what is there? It is a pot or clay. Pot and clay are two. Swamiji says, if somebody says two, you have to say three. Why? Third clay is there in the brain. Pot and clay are two? No. Understand? Pot is clay. Pot is clay. When I say pot is clay, what happens to pot? Gone? This is called Vedantic magic. Eh? You see the pot, you create the pot, you see the pot, you use the pot, but you say pot is clay. That means clay can be without the pot, but pot cannot be without the clay. Understand? And therefore, when we say pot is clay, what is there is clay only. Mrittiketeva satyam. Then what is pot? Vacharampana vikaro namadhe. There is a vagalambanam. On your tongue, there is a word pot is there, but when you look into the vastu is clay. Once you say this is clay, pot is not, then where is the causeness in the clay? If there is no pot, then where is the cause there? Karanatva. That means what? As long as you say pot is, then the karana is clay. But once there is no pot, only clay is there, the causeless karanatva is not there. Understand? Therefore, karanatva is not intrinsic quality of Ishvara. As long as you are experiencing this world, we say Jagat Karanam. But once you see Ishavasya idagum sarvam. Therefore, there are two types of the lakshana is there. One is called tatastha lakshana. Second is swarupa lakshana. So Ishavasya idagum sarvam, when we say, it is a swarupa, understand. A lot of people are taking as tatastha. It is not tatastha, understand. Everything is being pervaded by Ishvara, Vasyam, Achadati. That means all the pots are clay only. So all pots need to be seen as the clay, Achadani. So what is here is one non-dual Ishvara. Therefore, don't say I am Ishvara. Everything is Ishvara. The problem with us is we are stuck with this abhinna nimit upadana. That is what all temples are. We want to worship Ishvara. We don't want to know Ishvara. So when we worship Ishvara, it's called nimitta karana. We do the prayer to nimitta karana. Why? Because nimitta karana means what? The maker has a knowledge and skill. Therefore, all our prayers are to nimitta karana. Understand this properly. But when we do puja, it is a upadana karana. We see this is marble, but it is Ishvara, upadana karana. Prayers are to nimitta karana, puja is to upadana karana. And therefore, abhinna nimitta upadana karanam also when we say, it is a tatastha lakshana, secondary. Swarupa lakshana is what? Paramascha. Ishvara is a tatastha lakshana, Parama is a swarupa lakshana. And therefore, Shankaracharya says, Paramatma Parameshwara. Whatever here is one non-dual, Ishvara. Tomorrow we'll see further. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari.